Thanks for the question, Dan, and maybe to pick it up and to elevate it on a more macro perspective, it's an interesting question. Are we moving in a time of post-free trade agreements, and we couldn't set up TTIP? Fine. So what new territory are we actually navigating in? Because it's obvious, and people always say about the Americans here that there's fatigue when it comes to FTAs. There's also a fatigue on the European side when it comes to free trade agreements. We have many free trade agreements internationally. In the EU, we are one of the champions of FTAs. But look what's happened with the Mercosur agreement, for example, 20 years of negotiations. Now you're in the final line, and now it's stalled because of political reasons. And there's another interesting aspect here. Because we've had globalization and so much advancement and different rounds of GATT and the World Trade Organization, we've had so many progress when it comes to mitigating tariffs and getting the economy flowing, that many administrations now see very little wins when it comes to FTAs. So maybe TTC is this new chapter of a la carte, open, take your pick type of FTA, where you cannot agree on everything. You cannot agree on the marinated chicken, was it, in TTIP? And chlorinated chicken, and the butter and the investment arbitrage mechanisms and all that kind of destroyed the huge negotiations we had with the Obama administration. But now we're actually making progress into areas which actually give us a lot of bang for our buck. Technology, specific kind of trade, and I'm really happy that now we're talking about sustainable trade and also about economic security. And to close on your question, yes, all of these things touch upon each other, but I think now we're trying to streamline our work between the two administrations and make sure that we carve more flexible, more nimble types of tools and mechanisms that we push forward on these major issues.
Yeah. No, Dan, I think we're moving into an era where free trade is almost taboo, or at least fading from a realistic goal. And I think what we're seeing in what we hope from the Trade and Technology Council is it can manage sort of the protectionist industrial policy agendas. I've seen some success, whether it's happened inside the TTC or around the TTC. Would be on, for example, coordinating on the CHIPS Act, supporting semiconductors. I think there's been relative progress. Defusing the IRA, yes, a lot of that happened outside.